Broyles here from the Washington Art Education Association. I'm here to give a presentation on building regional advocacy using custom interactive Google Maps. A little data on me. I'm the co-president of the Washington Art Education Association. We have about 300 members. I am also a visual and media arts educator at River Homelink in the Battleground Public School System in Battleground, Washington. I teach photography, digital art, fashion, studio art, and yearbook at a parent-partner alternative school. I live in the bottom southwest corner of Washington, and I am trying to connect this vast area of people together for arts education. But this is what I was looking at. I'm looking at these data sheets, just Excel spreadsheets of just data. Like, here's my membership data. I've got lists of public school buildings, independent schools, higher ed art departments, art organization. And these data sheets, some of them have been crowdsourced from my organization and developed based on like public information off websites. Some of them have been downloaded from other state websites for public use. The membership data is the only data sheet that is restricted to only the exec board gets to actually see it. But the rest of these data sheets are posted and available for my membership to see. And we will talk multiple times about the privacy of this membership data sheet. So that is very important down the road that we are about to walk. So I'm looking at these data sheets, trying to pull connections, and I realized that as a visual artist, I needed to see the data in relation to place to be able to make these connections. So I realized in Google Maps, when I go to conferences and such, I put little pins and I plan my day based on where the restaurants are that I want to go see, or the museums I want to go see or eat, whatever. So I created this regional data map in Google to show the relationships across the state of my membership, my arts organizations, where my teaching artists were, where my higher ed institutions are. And it looks, in this view, it looks a little chaotic, but the view online, which I'm going to show you in just a second, is a bit clearer. These icons get kind of big in this presentation. So today we're going to do more nuts and bolts. We're going to talk about how to actually do this. So we're going to start with a spreadsheet of data. You can either have it in your Google Drive or you can have it downloaded. And this can be from a survey that has demographic data that you ask for either zip code or address from the participant, or you can work off your data sheets from NAEA or a membership roster or something like that. Then we're going to create a map in Google My Maps, and we're going to import the data. And then number 3, the most important, we're going to clean up that visible data and we're going to protect the privacy of our members. So within this map system, we can add up to 7 layers of data to see connections. We added public school districts, public schools, independent schools, museums, higher education, mostly with art education programs, community art organizations, and then we also added the ESD regions that we operate under, which if there's time, I will show you how to add those regional files. So to get started, you guys, it's so easy. I'm just going to Google Maps, right? Like, let's just go to the basics. I'm going to Google Maps. I'm going to go and I'm going to search my maps. So open the menu on the side and I can go to saved. Okay, so this is where I would save my maps of like all the places and restaurants that I wanted to eat at. And when I was hanging out here, I'm like, there's gotta be a way. And then I saw like, look, okay, what is this? Let me click on maps. Like, what are these? Like, open my maps. What? I can create my own custom map. Google has a whole little section called My Maps. And here is where you'll create your map. I'm going to go create a new map. I'm going to create a new map. And as I'm doing this, I want to make sure that I am in the correct Google account. I don't want to be in my personal account. I want to be in my association's account. And we actually have an account called communications at WAEA.net. And we share the password with the exec board. So anybody can get in here and do things within this account. So it'll pass down with legacy. So here's the United States, right? But I'm only really concerned right now about Washington. So there's a zoom tool on the lower right-hand side to allow me to zoom in to Washington. And if I want to kind of set my view area here, so when people click on my map, I can go in this menu over here, click on the three little dots, set default view. Okay, that's going to set the view to just this area that I want to focus on. Okay, I'm going to title my map. Always, you want good titles. So this is my NAEA, NLC process map. And then in the description, I always like to add made in July 2024. Although I am able to update the data on this map, I like to have an origination date on there. All right, and so in this document, this menu over here, you see you've got a top menu right here, and then you have this three little dot menu. We've already done this to go see default view. This is where you'll embed the map into your website and all of those things. When I want to add a layer, I'll add a layer here. Like I said, I did 7 layers, so maybe this next layer will be where I put the museums or something like that. So in this first layer here that says untitled layer, you just double click, and I'm going to call this membership. July 2024. If you don't title it, the title will be the name of the file that you import, so either works. And then if you look right under here, it says import, and I can import stuff from a CSV file, which is a different type of Excel spreadsheet, a spreadsheet, or KML, and we'll deal with a KML file a little bit later, but that's how we get our regions on there. So I'm going to click import, and as you can see, I can either upload from my computer, or I can go straight from my Google Drive. And so like this is my membership data right here. So I'm just going to insert my membership data, and it's going to ask, choose columns to position your place marks or your pins. So these pins work off latitude and longitude numbers, and so I need something like an address or a zip code. I like to add country because I have a member in Italy right now as well. And you need something that has some data that they can put pins on. So continue. Choose a column to title your markers. So this is just the column that's going to pop up first, and I like to keep it kind of generic right now because I'm just kind of looking at trends. So I'm going to say member type. Okay, I'm going to say finish, and then it's going to upload. I've got some people that have moved around or are moving towards us, and their address hasn't been updated yet, but let's just take a moment and look at that. Those are my members. Those are my people. There is so much that I can pull just from looking at this data in this place situation. I have to remember too, I have a bunch of mountains here, right? I can't be too hard on myself about not having members on the top of Mount St. Helens. But I can look at what I've got going on in a lot of this rural area, and I need some membership drives going on in these areas. So I knew that, but now I know it even more, right? I've got a lot of membership up this I-5 corridor. But let's look at the data a little bit closer, all right? So over here, Before I get into looking at it closer, pay attention to these error windows that are going to pop up, or informational panels. This says 12 rows couldn't be shown on the map. Fix the errors highlighted in red. Okay, so I would open the data table, which I'm not going to open on this video because it shows member data. And most of these are because they're PO boxes. And so I'm just going to go and delete the PO box, and then it'll default to the city, state, and zip code to place the pin. So you want to double check that. Some of them have like extra information, like the city and state and their street address. That might be causing an error. Or like the country is wrong because they're actually in Italy, not in the United States. So those were my errors. When you fix them on this data table, it is not changing your original file at all. So don't be concerned about that. So I'm just going to dismiss those errors for right now. All right, let's talk about digging into this data a little bit. So I've got all of these items right now, and it's showing me all of my members. But check this out. I can click on Uniform Style, and I can customize and group the colors and even change the icons. And I'm interested in seeing connections on member type. So now, categories I usually don't use because they put labels next to like all the pins, which get kind of annoying to see. So I don't use labels. But now I can see, like, look, these are all my first years, my retired, my pre-service, my institutional. I even have an NAEA staff member, who I already know who that is. But I can go and I can change the color of any of these if I'm not liking the color, if I want it a little bit more contrasty. And I can see my a little bit of my membership data. You can easily go in and change what you want to group places by pretty easily on the map, and it will auto update. I can even go in, and if I go onto the little color picker, I can change the little icon. I can make them like little swimmer people, or I'm going to make them little hikers. All right, so then all of my active professional, those are little hikers. If you want to do that. If not, then you can always undo and just go back to the place markers. But when I got into different layers, that's when I got into different icons. So when I added my museum layer, I added those with a different kind of institutional icon so I could see them on the map. Right? How cool is that? So this is a pretty powerful thing, and we have to be really careful about it. You are not allowed to stop right here. Because the beauty of these pins is if I click on this pin here, it's going to give me all the information that was in that data sheet. Okay, easy fix, easy fix. I'm showing you this. This is my data. I'm okay for you to see it. But if you look down here, so you're going to pick one pin. It doesn't matter what pin, but you're going to have to do this. It's on each little layer. So I'm going to go to Edit. And I'm going to only leave on here the things that I want to be shown. So first name is fine. I could do River Home Link if I wanted to, but right now I'm just going to do name, city, zip code. I'm going to take off email for sure. And here's the deal. I have a public-facing map. And this is what I'm showing you. This is a public-facing map so other people can see connections. I have a exec board only map that shows me all of this information. So I can easily make connections and connect people via email privately. So, but my public facing, a secondary membership, a first name, a city, state, zip, that is all perfect data to share. All right. So if I'm looking, knowing that somebody named Rebecca that lives in Battleground around this area here, and she's in the secondary, that's going to help me out because when I go to try to throw an event in this area, then then I can be like, oh, okay, there's Tatiana, right? There's Jessica. Ooh, most of my people are down here though. So what if I throw an event kind of in the middle here so that everyone has an equidistance to drive? Or look, I've got members up here that they don't have any connections. So maybe we need to get up here to Longview or even out here, something at the beach, so that we can really try to engage these members and get more members in this area. So when we talk about area, okay, so what's nice is I have this map here, but now I'm like, okay, who's responsible for these people? This is where we get into adding regional boundary lines. So in order to add regional boundary lines, you are going to search for the KML file for your regions in your state GIS. Okay, so you just go to Google, type in your state, KML file, that's the secret trick right there. And then I did educational service districts. Most geospatial systems in your state will have school districts, they'll have legislative districts, they have a lot of like even smaller regions. Those have a little bit too many lines in them to go into this free Google service. But larger regions, you'll be able to upload that file. So you're going to look on that website, you're going to find the KML file for what it is you're looking for, download the file, and then you're just going to upload it as a layer. So look how easy this is. Let me go back. So here's my new layer, import, upload. I'm going to go and I'm going to find my KML file, which I downloaded. There it is. There's my regions right there. I'm going to go ahead and give them, based on the ESD name, give them some colors, right? Look how easy that is. Now I can see, all right, well, I've got a problem in Othello. Who is my regional rep? Okay, so I'll email the regional rep and be like, hey, there's a problem in Othello. Can you try to connect with these people here? And we've got Naomi and Melanie. Can you connect them and get them to the school board meeting to speak? So this is a huge advocacy tool for us. So some of the information that is listed here. So this is the address of the ESD 112, the website, all of this stuff is public. And so I don't go and edit any of these layers. Same with my public schools, my independent schools, anything that is public on the web, I leave the websites there, especially for arts organizations and community resources. Because as I'm telling this person in ESD 112, hey, I need you to up your membership, start throwing some events. Once you have let me get to here's the map that's, scroll in. In here, you can toggle these as well. So I can like turn off other members, and I can turn off different layers. But I can go and see like, oh, wait, there is, what is this right here? Oh, Washington State University. Oh, why don't I go and contact the arts department there and see if they want to help us throw a workshop, and try to pull all of these people together. It's not just us. It's not just these members. All of these are people that are working for the arts and that we need to activate into our network. And so that is the beauty of this map. And that is why I'm sharing it with you. And so there's lots of questions, and we need more data to be able to answer these questions. And so there's some ways that we can gather that data. One is we need member data that is updated each year with current job data. Even more specific, are they sharing schools? Do they have a classroom? Are they on a cart? What is their FTE? And so we need to do a yearly data update in September to find out, have you changed schools? And then we can update our databases It would be great if NAEA would also ask some of these extra questions when people sign up, or make sure that it is required. So that's another thing that we could do is somehow, if possible, require the input of school for active and pre-service members in the NAEA sign-up process. So many of my members, they just don't want to fill it out, and they go past it because it's not required. Or I need to ask it in my own updates, because I'd love to see some of these pre-service people, they list the schools that they're going to, but this shows their home address, but not the school that they're going to. And so I'd like to see what schools they're connected with. And that's a big push in our state right now, is our pre-service. So we also need to push out a Google form to our members and our nonprofit and our advocacy affiliates to collect and update our data sheets on local community art organizations, museums, galleries. Community colleges aren't on here, to really make this a robust map that people can use. And even teaching artists, putting the links there is a teaching artist map, but putting them on here to see who we can connect with for workshops for our members would be an amazing thing as well. So at the end, you just need to embed this onto your website. So you go into the map, you find the embed code. So where'd my map go? Here we go. Find the embed code here. It's embed on my site. I have to share it first. So click OK. Go to share. Now that I have made sure that my privacy issues have been solved, I can share this with anyone. I can let others search for it if I want to on the web. And then here's a link if I wanted to link this into an email or embed it using the link. I can share it on the drive with my other affiliates. And then now that I've made it public, now I can go to the 3 little dots, embed on my site. Here's the embed code. I will copy this and then I will place it into my website. This is my regional sites page for trying to get people to do regional workshops around my state. And then now they can easily use this map straight on my public website. I've also put some data sheets where they can go and add comments to try to add things to these data sheets if they need to, which they all need some. This one is only, it's not public, it's only shared with a few restricted members. But I put that there as well. This is where I would put the Google form to be like, hey, fill out this form for things in your area. But some people just want to type into the form. And then this is just, now I'm just getting onto my website. This is where we have some regional brainstorming events or event shares. So make sure make sure you're not sharing personal information of your members. Public information is okay to share and use for regional advocacy and collaboration development. Follow us, the WAEA, on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And if you are here in Detroit, here's a link to an interactive map of highly rated restaurants in Detroit. And thanks for sharing. Contact me at coPresident1@waea.net or Becky Broyles at waea.net, and I can help you do this. But you should be able to do it on your own. Thanks.